He's done it. Brad Underwood has landed his big fish, his alpha dog, his star scorer. Will Riley is headed to the Fighting Illini. He is an Illini officially. Why does it feel weird to call someone like he is an Illini?
ILL.
INI. That felt good. Will Riley, we love this kid's game. We've talked about it for over a month now. This kid's a bucket getter, a bucket extraordinaire, and I think he's exactly what Illinois needed on this current roster card.
I think one of my most endearing qualities about Coach Underwood as a coach is that I don't think he sulks whatsoever. Like, he might lose, but he's not going to sulk. And whether you want to say whether he lost, missed out on targets this year, the Brad Underwood has a fantastic pivot. My brother knows how to pivot in any way he can, whether that's getting stamps on the passport, whether that's getting guys to reclass like Will Riley. I think that Brad Underwood might have the nastiest change up in the Big Ten, and I appreciate him for that. And this is a big ad. This is a 5-star top 10 kid who people project to be an NBA player one day, maybe even a one and done. Maybe he wants to be a one and done. So like, this is an ad at a position of need too, I would say, because the one missing thing that I would say for Illinois coming into this year, given the current outlook of the roster before this commitment, was they were kind of missing that big fish wing. Like, they're missing a big fish wing, and I think Will Riley is that.
He's huge, right? Like, talent-wise, this is the most talented player on Illinois right away. Although my belief in who Merez Johnson is might fight that. But yeah, I think this guy's a no-brainer stud. I think this is also, how do I say this? Brad has had some huge recruiting wins through the years. He's gone overseas for guys. He's gotten portal guys. Obviously, winning Terrence Shannon head-to-head was a huge win. I think this is the biggest win of Brad Underwood's Illinois tenure, because this one took some creativity, right? Like, this was like fourth quarter, clock's winding down. Everything else didn't work out. And we have to convince a kid in next year's class that Kentucky wants to say screw that and come play for us right now and be featured. And they pulled it off. Like, this is like a magic trick they pulled off. And Orlando Antigua definitely played a huge role in this. Maybe this is part of why you bring Orlando Antigua back. You're already reaping the benefits. But I just, I don't want to minimize how impressive it is that they scrambled to find the solution. Because you've heard us say this throughout the offseason. They failed before this on all of the attempts to get a star wing starter caliber scorer. And this is one of the best ones you could have gotten at any point. Like, if you had gotten Will Riley in April before the portal even opens up, then we're probably talking about you don't need someone from the portal because Will Riley's that good. And I'm just impressed. Like, for a last minute solution, it's one of the best last minute solutions I've seen any program come up with at any point to find a starter at a position of need in the last couple of years.
Yeah, Big O, Coach Orlando Antigua, might need to give him like the nickname Sandman. Is that what they call Mariano Rivera? The Sandman? Is that his nickname?
I don't know.
All right, well, I'm gonna say it is.
No, he ran into Enter Sandman. That's what happened.
I thought his nickname was the Sandman.
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, we're gonna get some details on that. I'm sure there's some Yankees fans that watch this. By the way, F the Yankees. But I think I love the effect that Antigua's had on the staff so far. It's one of the more underrated ads as far as staff wise that I think have happened across the college basketball landscape. I mean, there's other guys that have made movement. Alvin Brooks went over to Kentucky. That was another big one. But yeah, I think Will Riley fits in right away. I think Will Riley should start for this team. And it's a ceiling raiser for this Illinois team.
How big of a ceiling raiser?
They're probably my third team in the Big Ten right now.
What's the new ceiling? Like, that's third in the Big Ten doesn't mean ceiling to me. That means like what they are, how good are they? What's
They
the
should
ceiling?
they should compete for a Big Ten title.
Really? You're talking like title talk now, Indiana level, Purdue level. We're here.
I think they're on par with those teams.
Okay.
Not on par. They're below. Like I said, I just had them third, but they should be in contention for it.
Individual ceiling for Will Riley. What does that look like? Like, is he capable of first team All Big Ten? Is he capable of Big Ten Freshman of the Year?
I think he's capable of Big Ten Freshman of the Year. I think he inserts himself in that the running for the other freshmen that are going to be in this conference.
Not first team All Big Ten though.
His ceiling might be first team All Big Ten. I don't believe it though, but his ceiling might be there.
There's a lot of good players in Big Ten.
Yeah.
But like, here's my thing. If we're talking like roles on teams positionally, like being the featured Illinois wing is a pretty clear path to first team All Big Ten, right? Like, I'll say this, Cart. If we dropped Will Riley on Rutgers, I'm not nearly as excited about this as I am with like, he's going to play for Brad Underwood and be the guy on a team that needs it.
That's a you point. I would love to have him dropped on Rutgers.
No, flip this. If Ace Bailey was dropped on Illinois, we're talking about Ace Bailey in a completely different way than we are at Rutgers. Like, it's part of this is he is stepping in to be the Terrence Shannon Jr. / Marcus Damask face of this team. And that's a lot of pressure, but we've seen it work repeatedly. Like, when's the last time a Brad Underwood first option wasn't an all first team caliber player? Hasn't happened since Io?
Matthew Meyer.
He wasn't the first option.
You sure?
The real first option, not who he thought he was. Okay, so we both think Will Riley has like great potential. What's the worst case potential? Because again, there was the whole Latulip clip of like, we've seen this before with Sky.
What former Illini player have I linked him to looking like?
Isn't it Curbelo?
Yeah.
That's the worst case.
Yeah.
He doesn't play like Curbelo though, and Curbelo was clinically insane.
Well, I'm just talking about the worst case scenario. Looks like Will Riley kind of being clinically insane.
Okay, so you do have like he might be insane.
There's some very, very big crash and burn maybe possibilities here.
Okay. Do you think that Will Riley being on the team makes Illinois' team crash and burn potential bigger than it did before he was here? Because it raised their ceiling. Does it also lower their floor?
Yes.
I don't know if I agree with that, but is that just chemistry stuff, or like how would Will Riley possibly hurt this team?
Well, I'm guessing right now, and I'm speculating because we're a speculation podcast. There's probably some people that aren't as excited that there's been an ad of Will Riley.
Do you think there's going to be some ramifications to this late edition?
I don't think so, but there might be some unhappiness involved with this.
Okay. All right. It's November 10th. First day of the season. Will Riley is the blank best player on Illinois.
Oh, he'll be in New Zealand by then. I'm kidding. Will Riley will be the second best player.
I know it's hot. It's like I'm talking to my daughter, like, don't touch. Hot. Like,
man, he will be the
day one. First walks in first game. Will Riley is the blank what best player.
I'm gonna say second.
Behind who?
Rickhouse.
Your Rickhouse stock cannot be higher. I think this ad might mean Rickhouse doesn't start. That's my read. I think we might see Boswell, Kasparis, Riley, Rogers center lineup. Rickhouse, super sixth man. We'll see. Might be a good thing. I think day one of the season, Will Riley is the best player on this team card.
Oh,
I think he's clearly the pro here. Like, clearly. He's the NBA guy here. March 17th. Big Ten tournament time. Will Riley is the blank best player on Illinois.
fourth.
So other guys overtake him over the course of the season.
Yeah.
Is that because like Brad and staff realized early into the year like this isn't working the way we wanted it
Actually,
to?
third.
Who overtakes him? You still got Rickhouse. Who else?
I've been as of late kind of buying Kasparis being a really good stock.
Okay.
But that might come back to bite me.
Okay.
That might just be me with my left to my own devices, my own thoughts, and I'm like talking myself into it.
Okay. I'm higher on Will Riley, I think, than you are then. I have him best player the day he walks in, second best player by the end of the season.
Behind Merez.
They're going to feature Merez by the end of the season. That's my belief. That's my belief. But this ad makes it easier because look, Kasparis is a pass first guy. Boswell's a pass first guy. Merez is a tenacious guy, but I don't know that Merez necessarily needs shots right away. He's just going to work on the boards. This makes everyone else's life easier because now guys that would have been uncomfortable coming in and scoring don't have to. Will Riley can do it. Like Rickhouse's life is made easier because Rickhouse is here or because Will Riley is here. He can just shoot the ball now. The only guy who I think is affected negatively by this is Trey White. Maybe Jake Davis a little because I don't think there's a lot of wing minutes available now. But you get Will Riley, you don't care about what happens.
Got a better player than Trey White.
It's a huge win. So congrats, Illinois. I think this is massive. We'll have more on this in the next week. But kudos. Great get. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.